Imagine a device small enough to slip into your jacket pocket, but powerful enough to replace your laptop on a busy day. When you're constantly on the move, that's what people are secretly hoping the iPad mini 8 will be. And if Apple gets this right, it could quietly become the most important iPad in the entire lineup. In this video, I want you to picture a realistic, but genuinely exciting version of the iPad mini 8. The design it could have, the kind of display it needs, the performance jump that would actually matter in real life, the battery that keeps up with a full US day, the price it has to hit, and finally, whether this is something you should actually wait for. And stay with me until the end, because there's one specific group of people who should probably not buy the iPad mini 8 at all, even if Apple makes it absolutely incredible. Let's start with a simple question. Why are so many people obsessed with a tiny tablet in the first place? If you live in the US, your day is built around movement, commuting, campus, coffee shops, flights, the office, the couch, your bed, and then you do it all again. A full-size laptop can feel like you're carrying a brick. A big iPad Pro demands its own bag and its own space. But an iPad mini is different. It's that one device you can throw into a small sling, a hoodie pocket, or your car's center console and forget it's even there until you need it. The problem is, the current iPad mini is a great idea stuck in an almost state. The display has issues, the performance is aging, and the price pushes uncomfortably close to bigger, more capable iPads. That's exactly where the iPad mini 8 needs to come in and fix the story.
Apple doesn't have to reinvent the shape.
They'll almost certainly keep that small iPad Air look with flat sides, rounded corners, a single rear camera, no home button, and Touch ID in the power button. The magic is in the refinement. We're probably still looking at around an 8-inch display, but even slightly slimmer bezels would mean more screen without making the device harder to hold in one hand. And that tiny change matters more than you'd think. Your ebooks feel more immersive, your games feel less cramped, and that movie you watch on a plane or in bed suddenly feels a bit closer to a real screen instead of a compromise. The real, absolutely critical upgrade has to be the panel itself. If you've used or even just researched the current mini, you've heard about the jelly scrolling effect, where one side of the screen seems to move a little faster than the other when you scroll text. Once you see it, you can't unsee it, and it's the kind of thing that turns a premium device into an irritation. With the iPad mini 8, Apple either fixes that once and for all, or the internet will tear it apart within hours of launch. There are a few realistic ways they could tackle this, using a better LCD panel with a different scanning method and a more advanced controller. Or, if Apple really wants to make this thing special, giving it a higher refresh rate 120Hz promotion. Like the iPad Pro, which makes scrolling feel buttery smooth and can help mask or eliminate that jelly effect entirely. An old screen would be the dream, with inky blacks, insane contrast, richer colors, and better efficiency when you're watching darker content. But Apple usually keeps its very best display technology for the most expensive models, so a higher end LCD with promotion is probably the more realistic hope. Even that alone would make the Mini 8 feel like a totally different class of device. Then there's performance. And this is where the iPad mini 8 could quietly turn from cute to dangerous. Apple has been dropping laptop-class chips into their tablets for a while now. And if the Mini 8 gets a recent A-series chip, or even better, an M-series chip, you're suddenly carrying around an ultra-portable slab that can comfortably edit 4K video, run demanding games at high frame rates, handle heavy multitasking in iPadOS without stutter or slowdown. If you're in college, imagine this. You're in lecture with the Mini in your hand. You've got your Notes app open, your digital textbook split-screened next to it, maybe a browser sliding over the side for quick Google searches, and when class ends, you plug in your earbuds and jump straight into a game or a show without the device even breaking a sweat. If you're a creator, imagine rough-cutting your YouTube shorts or TikToks while you're commuting, waiting at the airport, or sitting in a coffee shop, then airdropping those projects to your Mac or bigger iPad Pro when you get home to finish them. In that scenario, the Mini isn't a toy. It becomes the everywhere computer that's always with you when inspiration hits. But raw power means nothing if the battery can't keep up. The current iPad mini is fine, but not amazing. It can usually get you through a casual day of browsing, note-taking, and streaming. But the percentage drops quickly when you push gaming, drawing, or video editing. For the iPad mini 8 to truly fit us lifestyle students running from class to class, professionals bouncing between meetings, travelers hopping on flights and Ubers, it needs to comfortably last from breakfast to bedtime with a mix of web, browsing, email, social media, YouTube, Netflix, note-taking, and some light gaming. That kind of real-world battery life comes from more than just a bigger battery. It comes from a smarter chip that sips power on light tasks and only cranks up when performance is really needed. Combined with software that intelligently manages background activity, Apple can tweak the internals to fit even a slightly larger battery while improving efficiency. You end up with the dream. A tiny tablet you unplug in the morning and don't have to baby or constantly recharge during the day. Now think about ports and accessories, because this is what turns a good tablet into a daily tool. USB-C is basically guaranteed at this point. And that's a huge win because it lets you charge with the same cable you use for your laptop, your other iPads, your portable battery, maybe even your Android phone or your friend's charger. Fewer cables, fewer headaches, especially if you're traveling or working out of a backpack. If the Mini 8 supports the latest Apple Pencil with lower latency and more features, it instantly becomes a killer device for students racing to capture notes during a lecture, professionals marking up PDFs and contracts, and artists scribbling concept art, storyboards, or UI sketches on the go. A lot of people also dream of a proper keyboard, case for the Mini that doesn't feel like you've stuck a giant screen on top of a tiny base. If Apple can design a compact, sturdy keyboard with comfortable key travel that doubles as a stand, the Mini 8 suddenly looks very attractive for writers drafting emails or blog posts, developers doing quick SSH sessions, or anyone living inside. Docs and spreadsheets who still values portability over a huge screen. Cameras and media might not sound like the headline features, but on a small tablet, they matter more than you think. Holding up a 12.9-inch iPad to take a photo looks and feels ridiculous. But an iPad mini is just small enough that you might actually use it like a big screen phone for scanning documents, capturing whiteboards in meetings or class, and immediately marking them up. A solid rear camera with good detail and reliable focus turns the Mini into a surprisingly useful capture tool for work and school. On the front, a high-quality selfie camera with center stage is almost non-negotiable now. If you're on FaceTime with family back home, Zoom meetings for work, or online classes, you want a camera that tracks you as you shift slightly, keeps you framed decently, and doesn't make you look like a blurry pixel mess. Third, it has to be priced so that you're not punished just for choosing small. If the Mini costs almost as much as an Air, but gives you less screen and fewer pro features, then it needs to offer something special in return, like that high-end display or unbeatable convenience. So, should you actually wait for the iPad Mini 8? If you're someone who reads a lot of books, articles, and PDFs, travels frequently, loves gaming but doesn't want a huge tablet, or takes tons of handwritten notes and wants a digital notebook that feels natural to hold, then the Mini 8 has the potential to be your perfect device. A powerful, ultra-portable machine that disappears in your bag but shows up big when it's time to work or play. But here's the honest part. There is one group of people who should probably not buy the iPad Mini 8, even if it turns out to be absolutely amazing. If you rely on your device for complex multitasking, multiple apps, side by side, big spreadsheets, detailed design work, serious video editing, or you plan to use it as your main computer for long sessions at a desk, a small screen will fight you every single day. You'll be constantly zooming, scrolling, switching apps, and wishing you just had more space. For you, a bigger iPad or even a traditional laptop will almost always be the smarter, less frustrating choice. The Mini is about mobility and convenience, not maximum workspace. So here's the bottom line. The iPad Mini 8 has a clear mission: fix the display, boost the performance, improve the battery, and keep the design small and light enough that you never hesitate to grab it on your way out the door. If Apple nails those 4 things, This could easily become one of the most loved and most underrated devices they sell. Now I want you to think about yourself for a second. If you could choose just one upgrade for the iPad mini 8, what would it be? A 120Hz display? An M-series chip, noticeably longer battery life, or a lower price? Your answer tells you a lot about how you'd actually use this device in your daily life.